will start to introduce you to Adina Grigoriu, which is the CEO of Active Asset Allocation. We've been discussing a bit before about the active asset allocation. And we have Daniel Drummer, which is VP of JP Morgan, taking care of fintechs. You're based in London, Daniel, right? Then we have Jérôme Favresse, which is the CEO of Amareos. So they basically make sentiment analytics. So they scan your Twitter account. They know everything about you and what your friends think about things and so on and so forth. And then we have Imad Warde, pronounced well, which is the CEO of HedgeGuard, that brings operational efficiency into the life of the institutional investors. So here and again, I would like to, similar format, to ask our panelists to share with us in brief words their motivation for starting a bank or starting a robo-advisor, a startup, or their motivation in engaging with fintechs from the JP Morgan perspective. Shall we start with you, Daniel?
Sure. So maybe to answer both questions, actually. So what motivated me to start an enterprise in my previous life, tonality tech and enterprise in the sentiment analysis, was the realization that a lot of academic research has been around for a while, but it has only been partially applied to make use of it in the investment business. So I think this is still valid today, and this is why I'm excited now to be sort of on the other side, on the corporate side, and to identify opportunities for one of the larger financial institutions at JP Morgan, and specifically for the investment bank to look into emerging technologies, and we'll maybe discuss later what that means, but for us this means, for example, AI and blockchain. Identify opportunities and also now work with startups that are working in this space and help us move forward together.
Adina?
Sure. So before starting the company, I had just spent about 8 years working with a big asset management firm, and then 3 years doing applied research with one of the top researchers in finance. And what decided me to start the business is the fact that I was convinced there was something very wrong with the way that the institutional investors were investing their money. I thought that the old mean variance optimization just wasn't doing the trick. So I basically wanted to help them construct robust portfolios that would correspond to whatever they were trying to do. So in particular, I wanted to do research on long investments. So I wanted to help pension funds, which we do. I wanted to help like retirement savings, and that's exactly what we've been doing. And I figured the best way to do it, though, was to be independent, so to be free of doing all this stuff. But actually having a big name on its side, it helps. When you come with some innovation saying, oh yeah, I have this startup, couple of guys in Nice, they're like, yeah, sure, what can you bring us? But if you have a big name behind you, it's completely different, except that you don't get to get the innovation in the big names in the same way.
Yes, since I work for IBM, my books sell largely, massively. Yeah. So Imad, what about you?
Yes, so I spent the first part of my career in banks and fund management, and I saw a big problem. And I thought that I had an idea how to be part of the solution. And personally, I was longing for more freedom and creativity. So that's why I said to myself, why not be part of the solution? And to be able to do that, I had to be, take a grip of on my career and do it myself.
Okay, Jérôme.
I did spend more than 15 years myself in the financial industry in banks and strategy side, and it was clear to me that with the time passing, the world was changing, and the way we handle information, which was in financial industry one of the most important things, was really important. And because of the development of social media and the amount of information that was delivered to the world, was clear that it was nearly impossible to handle the data and information the same way as we used to do it a few years back. And so I decided to work on a way to treat information in a very different way and help investors, bankers, insurers to look at news and information in a very specific manner, in the sense that gathering the information from millions of websites, social media platforms, and using algorithm and artificial intelligence to help restructure the way you look at those things, and so that you can see the world in a very, very different way, because you will be able to capture what the crowd is thinking or what you individually thinks. So that's the reason why I started.
So you're there listening.
Yes.
So Daniel, you were skiing last week, weren't you?
Yes.
So you just came back from the World Economic Forum. I think there were a lot of discussions about the state of the economy, the state of banking, fintech. Now, we are in a very interesting time. It's like a perfect storm. The interest rates are negative to zero in many developed countries. It's very difficult to generate returns. The intermediation margins are squeezed. So I guess that banks and asset managers are desperately needing to change the way they think about finance and investing, looking for more return. So what do you think about this? Is it fair to describe the drive of innovation this way, like a market change and therefore a need to change, or there's something more substantial going on?